anything else I know of, woolly worms notwithstanding. But this past weekend we were in Arkansas, and we happened to pass a tree that looked like an orange tree. It was gorgeous. We stopped. We found out that these were persimmons. We talked the lady into giving us a limb off her persimmon tree, and I'd like for you to just take a look at these persimmons. They may or they may not be Japanese persimmons. We don't know that much about it, but they're absolutely gorgeous. They look like oranges. They're the size of oranges. She took us inside later after we looked at the persimmons, and she said, let me give you a recipe for persimmon pudding. You'd have to say, now it's not pudding, it's pudding, persimmon pudding. And it's, as I understand, an old Civil War recipe from that period of our time, persimmons. I have not cut into one of these. They are not ripe. They are really hard at this stage. But what you can do with persimmons, I intend to put them in the freezer, as she suggested, save them till around Christmas time. She told me how to drop them in boiling water, how to peel them, then how to fix them. Evidently, they are not full of seeds like our older persimmons are. But anyway, we're going to try it. Now, this is an unusual program in that we don't really have enough for a program, so I don't know. You may never even see this footage. But we thought these persimmons were worthy of note, and we thought you would like to see them too. Now, what else we'll do with this tape remains to be seen.
The program is called Time for Talk. It has been on the air here in Kennett for 10 years. The two people largely responsible for its success are Dr. Russ Burcham and his wife Rosemary. You see, they are the producers, directors, editors, anchors, and film crew for the program. But it's really their way with people that make this operation work.
I think I enjoy really meeting people and really talking to them, and you get to know, people will tell you things when you have a camera in your hand or a microphone that you couldn't possibly find out otherwise, and I have met some really delightful people.
The broadcast over Kennett Cablevision Channel 4 originates in this modern studio located in a local church. Church members volunteer their services as crew. Dr. Burcham built and wired the studio in addition to a full-time dental practice. But still, he says the program's success is due to community support.
This is our 10th year, Tony, and it seems like a very short time. The people of this community have been extremely supportive.
So after 10 years, Time for Talk is looking ahead to more quality community programming they're sure to get with these two talented and versatile people at the controls. At Missouri, a growing community, a nice place to live and raise a family, a city with dedicated community leaders, distinguished, respectable people who strive to see their city grow and prosper. People like Circuit Court Judge Blake McKinney, prominent physician Dr. Charles Cash, radio personality Jeff Wheeler, and TV talk show host Rosemary Burcham. But why, may you ask, are these the cream of the community being creamed? Well, this is the first annual Kennett Kiwanis Club Celebrity Pie Throw, part of Kennett's annual 4th of July celebration. 13 area celebrities donated their time, or should we say faces, to this noble cause. Chances to hurl the cream bombs into these lovable mugs were auctioned off to the highest bidder, with the proceeds going to charity.
If we raise any money with this project, we hope at least to break even. The money is used to fund Kiwanis service projects. We recently installed about $4,000 worth of playground equipment for preschoolers at the Jones Park here in Kennett, and each year we fund a scholarship for a Kennett High School student. We also contribute money to the many charitable causes in the area, like the Delta Children's Home, the Boy Scouts, and the innumerable charitable causes that put the bite on you during the year as a civic club.
So as you can see, a unique way to raise money and have fun at the same time. This is Tony Brooks, Region 8 News, Kennett, Missouri.
You know, Rosemary Burcham throws a mean pie, let me tell you.
That was a lot of fun. Was it any good? Was the pie good, though?
It makes a good styling mousse.
We thought you would enjoy a look at KAIT's visit here in Kennett at the Pie Throw, and also into our studio, and some kind things Tony Brooks had to say about this program. Now then, every now and
as we get to go through our tapes, we find some that are really cluttered with everything we have used and reused and reused again and put label on top of label, and sometimes we think things have gotten away from us that we regret. We have found two very short segments of such a thing, and I want to show you what we have. The first one, we went into Jack Stapleton's office. Jack Stapleton was editor of the Daily Dunklin Democrat since early 50s. This was in 1980. We went into Jack Stapleton's office. Ronald Reagan had just been elected. I want you to look carefully at Jack's office. There is only one Jack Stapleton's office. There is not a square inch of any desk anywhere that shows that is not used 3 deep with something. Look at Jack's office. It's one of a kind. And then, wait, and then we go out to the bridge. Now, we've lost our year on this. I don't know when the new bridge was put across over into Arkansas, but we want to show you just a segment of that old bridge that you have driven across to go to Rector or into Arkansas for 100 years, I think. Just short segments of both things.
Maybe since there seems to be a national preoccupation with November 4th results and so forth, let's just start out by saying that everybody knows that Ronald Reagan was elected President of the United States on November the 4th.
Right.
But that isn't really right.
Now, what do you mean it isn't really right?
Ronald Reagan wasn't elected on November the 4th. He really won't be elected until the electors, the Electoral College, meet next month and vote, you see.
But now, Jack, do they have any choice but to vote?
Yes, they have a choice. They have a moral obligation to follow the results of their state. But in reality, when we went to the polls on November the 4th, we voted for Reagan and Bush or Carter and Mondale, but we weren't.
You remember how the old bridge looked, of course. It goes over into Arkansas. There was a sign that warned you it was narrow, and once you drove onto it, there was no doubt in your mind it was narrow. It's really quite fearful to meet a truck on this bridge. You see the new structure beginning to take shape beside the old bridge, and the fear was that perhaps it would fall in before the new one was completed, but we barely made it.
In 1984, there was another event that took the headlines in the paper, especially here in the Boot Heel. Kennett's own Anna Maria Schell was crowned Miss Missouri. Let's show you a bit of that. I understand you felt from what I read that you felt like that was your night, that you did this for Miss Missouri. You really had a good night, you felt.
Saturday night, I have never performed like that. I almost stopped to see if an angel was singing through me. It just, everything clicked beautifully that night, and my mother and sister agreed. That was just one of my best performances, and I knew that, well, this was it, and I had to do it tonight or it's all over. Okay. I never had the opportunity again. And the happiest moment of my life.
The last thing on this tape is a bit of interesting history. We talked to a lady who was one of 14 children, who was a daughter of Uncle NELSE Willoughby, as she said, everyone called him. He was the first black man into this area, and she remembers this as we'll show you on the tape. Now, you said your father came here as a slave. Mm-hmm. And who brought him here? Can you remember that?
He told me that he come here with Bill Bowers' great-great-grandfather and mother.
All right.
He was a child, and he was the first colored person was here, and Miss Baldwin told me they called him a brown boy. He's the first brown boy they ever saw.
Okay, now yours was then the first black family here in Kennett.
That's all. Sure was. My father was the first one.
All right, now your father's name was, what was his name?
NELSE Willoughby.
NELSE Willoughby. NELSE Willoughby. Now, is that how Willoughby Street got its name, do you think, from your dad?
That's Dr. Spencer was named after him. Because he's the oldest citizen.
What sort of work did he do now?
He drove pumps and killed hogs and barbecued and done just regular labor, farmed.
Okay, he did farm work.
He farmed himself.
And drove pumps, you said?
Drove pumps and killed hogs and then, and then barbecued, go out, white people go out. He barbecued out here at Dixie Park. They did have some pictures where he barbecued out at Dixie Park. I haven't got it, but they had it in the paper then.
Okay.
But he worked right here. And then he janitor work for the Joneses.
Did janitor work?
Did what they call janitor work, carrying the wood and coals and keep things up like that, milk the cows. And take care of it. Then they had horses and mules,
Yeah.
And so he'd take care of them, have to feed them and water them and things like that.
Did you have your own pigs and cows and chickens around here at the home place?
My father and mother had.
Yeah. Okay. Did you get in on the hog killing? Did you have work to do when they'd kill hogs?
No, I was too little then to do the work. I was there, but I was too little to do that kind of work. All I could do is pump water. I had to pump water to do it, to put on the skull of hogs and pump water to wash them when they get them on the rack.
Okay, and so you clean the hog like that. He's hanging up.
My daddy would clean his hogs after he'd kill them and scrape them, and then hang them up there and gut them.
I bet you were always glad to get to that fresh meat, right?
Well, they had meat the year round, man, because they kill the hogs,
They kill hogs the year round?
Uh-huh. They'd kill a hog and then ride it all of them, fried out, and they'd have fresh meat.
Okay, all right. I guess it was a matter of pride that he was the first family here in Kennett.
He was. Yes, he was.
All right, the birthday cake is being cut and served. You've been to the 86th birthday of Mary Ivy.
86th birthday.
86th birthday. I got it right this time, of Mary Ivy, a member of the first black family in Kennett. And she's been reminiscing about what it was like in those days. And Nadine's just served her a piece of her birthday cake, and she's digging into it. We hope you've enjoyed this visit with Mary Ivy, one of the first families here in Kennett.